All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Senior Home Business Channel. You know who I am, Matt Stafford, a senior living broker. If you don't know what that means, watch the previous video. But today I want to get into a video I did, a short video on a different platform altogether that got a response from a social worker. And I'm going to show you exactly what she said. And I want to dissect this a little bit with you because my whole purpose of this channel is to teach you the senior referral business and teach you some business stuff to go along with it, right? First, before we get into the video, I want to encourage you that if you are looking to do something, I don't care if it's this or something else, I want to encourage you, in order for you to accomplish your goal, in order for you to accomplish what you set out to do, you're going to have to take a risk and you're going to have to bet on yourself. Those are two big things that I wouldn't say I'm a master of, but I've done quite well over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, is that I bet on myself and I'm willing to take a risk. Now, part of the risk is it is rolling the dice on some things. You're going to lose sometimes, right? You're going to call that 7 and get 11. I don't know. I've never played craps, but I guess that's what it's all about. But, you know, whether it be a poker hand or whether you're doing something else, playing a game, you take a risk and you're going to fail a lot more times than maybe you succeed. Maybe that's true. But I noticed for certain, if you never take a risk, you'll always be right where you are. You know, and people don't oftentimes take a risk because they're afraid that they're going to fail, and fear gets in the way. But let me tell you something to be afraid of. Not that you're going to fail, but be afraid that you're going to be in the exact same place a year from now as you are today. That's what I would be afraid of. I wouldn't be afraid of falling flat on my face. I wouldn't be afraid of going broke. I wouldn't be afraid of putting a couple $100 towards something, a couple $1,000 towards something, and didn't work out. I've actually done some of those things and they just didn't pan out, you know, and that's okay. But I kept doing it methodically, just, you know, accepting who I am. And I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be in my own home office. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make unlimited amount of money. I'm not saying I'm wealthy, but I'm definitely not broke, and I'm definitely not poor. I'm definitely not middle class. I've climbed up the ranks over the years, but I understand what I want in life, and it's ultimately to help people and it's make a lot of money. And that's what I've kind of done over the years. And so I want to help you in that, but it takes you betting on yourself and taking a risk. If you want to do those two things, man, just click the link below. There's a webinar you can watch, or actually there's a landing page I'll send you to. You can listen to some testimonies and read about some different things, educate yourself about this business. But this business is perfect if you're looking to work out of your house to help people and make a lot of money. Essentially, that's the kind of the game. But let's get into it. Talking about a senior referral business. Man, this is a trip. So I'm going to show you this video. It's about 1.5 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it periodically to kind of explain a few things, because with this video, to kind of set it up, it gets into what we're experiencing in California quite a bit, at least in my area. There's a number of social workers that are taking money under the table, meaning I don't think that's altogether bad. It is not appropriate, and they can be fired for it based on the documents they signed or when they got hired in the state facility, right? But for me, I don't look at it as too bad of a thing, but it happens quite a bit. The bad thing happens is these social workers, when they are operating in this fashion, they usually have 2 or 3 residential care homes that they deal with that will pay them directly. And so when someone's in the skilled nursing facility, they've gone through therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and they get to the point of getting ready to be discharged, and the family's like, well, we don't know where to go. And the social worker goes, well, I know where you can go. One of these 3 homes. They're the best homes available. And the person on the other end is kind of like, well, man, she must know what she's talking about. He must be the ideal person. He sees this and deals with these kind of situations all the time. And all they're doing is directing them to one of those 3 homes, and they get money under the table. So that's kind of the premise behind the video. I'm not saying all social workers are doing this, because they're not. There's a lot of great social workers out there. Ones I know personally, they're fantastic, but there are some that are doing this. So let me show you the video, and I'll stop it periodically, like I said, and kind of clarify a few things, but here it is. Skilled nursing facility and they're in need of assisted living, be extremely careful when the social worker hands you a short list of residential care homes, ideally 2 or 3. What they're probably doing at that point is directing your loved one to a certain community so they can get money under the table. You don't want that. So what you do is, in turn, ask that individual or a referral agent like myself or someone else of the state reviews of the. That is the key factor right there, is state reviews. So when you get a list from anyone, it could be me or someone else, I would encourage anyone out there to really look at the state reviews. And the state reviews trump any Google reviews. The Google reviews are just things that people, it's their experience and they're good and bad, right? But I know some communities that actually have paid their employees to go on their Google, get the Google reviews out, go on their Gmail or Yahoo accounts and just enter in some great, fantastic reviews to kind of boost the ratings, right? I've seen a community go like from a 3.4 Google rating to like a 4.3 practically overnight because about 50 employees did all this. So you don't want just to base your decision on Google reviews or just base your decision on people like myself or anyone. I mean, because no one's perfect, but you want to look at the state reviews. They trump everything.
The communities, not just 2 or 3, but all of them. You want to see the state reviews. You want to know the reputation of these communities, and you definitely want to.
There you go. Family and so you got state reviews and reputation. That's another thing that a lot of your referral agencies should know, and the people in the community about the reputation of that community. So you want to do some exploring in that area. And then the third one, you're going to hear me say in a second, is family intel. And that's clients that we have dealt with over the years that have actually stayed in these homes or these communities. They speak well of these communities. We're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for consistency, right? Perfection in these communities is just not going to happen. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one is. But if you look for consistency, and that's what the state reviews will reveal.
Know family intel, what other families are saying about this community. You want to find real people that have real loved ones in real communities, and what do they say about it? The food stinks, the care is great, whatever, but that's where you want the information. But don't allow that short list to direct you there and you think, oh my gosh, this must be the best communities available. Probably not. They're probably receiving money under the table. Not a good thing for your loved one, not a good thing for you, and it's definitely not a good thing for the social worker to be doing that.
Okay, so that's the video I did. Excuse me, I still have that cough from yesterday. I've had it for the last week. It stinks. But that's the video I put out. And so I'm going to show you right now. Here's the social worker. Again, you'll see like maybe half of her picture, but I cropped off her name so you wouldn't know who she is. But this is the response that I get from the social worker. She goes, I'm sorry, but please don't put out misinformation. Oh my God, misinformation. Now, I'm one that's been in business now for myself over 5 years. I've helped several hundred seniors over the years. We have hundreds of referral agreements that we have facilitated seniors into large communities and residential care homes. So I'm not new to the game. I used to work for a large community before this. My wife was in medical 15 years. So here's a wonderful social worker telling me not to put out misinformation. She goes on to say, assisted living is completely different from an RCH, residential care home. Like she had to put in parentheses, like, I don't know what RCH means, but that's okay. RCH requires a resident to be completely independent and not require much medical management since they do not have nursing to give meds. Bogus information. Here's a social worker who does not have a clue what she's talking about. Now, she is in a different state, so I'll give her that benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is her state. I know of another referral agency in this state, so I don't think it's true. In California, this is far from the truth, that residential care homes are not ones that are of independence. They're not seniors that are mainly ambulatory and walking around, helping themselves, doing whatever. Ones in residential care homes are ones that are needing a lot of care. Usually, if they're a little more independent, they go to an independent community or they go to an assisted living community and they get involved in the activities and games and different things of the other independent residents. So that's not true. She said assisted living has nursing staff of sites, I don't know what that means, at all times and provides a resident with an apartment, usually a studio setup, whereas an RCH does not do that, and the resident will share a room like they did in the skilled nursing facilities. Sometimes they're in a shared room when they go to a care home, but I have placed a lot of people in care homes that are in a 1-bedroom, that are in a 2-bedroom. They're not always in a shared room. Shared rooms are ideally for skilled nursing facilities. They can happen in a large community. They can happen in a residential care home, but it's not always the case. So she's a little bit off there. And she goes, there's so much more to it, but that's just the basics. I am a social worker in a skilled nursing, and we don't gain anything when they leave our facility. I applaud her. I'm glad she does not receive anything when they leave her facility, but I've known some social workers that have got money under the table. So that was all the video was requiring. talking about. But here up top talking about that the residential care homes they're mainly for people that are independent. My gosh, I hope none of the residents that I'm aware of that I've helped over the years, those kind of people would go to her and say, hey, I need a lot of care. And she wouldn't even consider a residential care home. She would just put them in a large community. So I just want to show you that because you got to be careful where you get your information. This is a social worker supposed to know a lot. She's probably young. I can tell by the picture again. I cropped it off, but she's probably young, probably just started last year and she's just now getting her feet wet, but that's okay. But you need to make sure that when you get your information about this business, about the industry, that you deal with people that have seasoned, that have been in it for a while, know what they're talking about. Okay, that's all I was trying to make. Hopefully that was helpful for you a little educational on a Sunday. Go to the down below and click the landing page, the link down there. I would love for you to know more about this business. Would love to talk to you. You have an opportunity to text me if you like, and then I'll respond appropriately, and then we'll jump on a call and see if this business is right for you. But until next time, God bless.